My name is Flores, and I am the Everyday Educator. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. Thank you for coming to my channel. I hope that I'm able to help you learn something new and help you to walk away a lot more confident with technology than you were before. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are ready to learn. I know that I am. So, this video is part 2 to the Canvas quizzes. Part 1 was creating a question bank. If you have not watched part 1, get out of here. Press pause, go back to the previous video, watch creating a question bank, because you're not going to be able to be successful in this video unless you've already created your question bank. So, love ya, but bye-bye. For those of you who have already watched part 1, you can feel free to go ahead on in to the next part. This is where you'll actually create the quiz, your classic Canvas quiz. All right, let's get started. All right, everyone. So at this point, you will have already created your question bank, and so we can go into the creation of our quiz. So you should already be in your sandbox. Now we're going to go down to quizzes. And after we are in quizzes, now we are going to select add quiz. And so here you'll notice that there are 2 different types of quizzes. We have classic quizzes and then we have new quizzes. Totally transparent here. Classic quizzes are going to go away as of July 2021. So starting now, you have 1 full year to get comfortable with classic quizzes before they just go away. So new quizzes that has a few more extra features, and so I'll make a video about that later on. But for today, we're going to focus on classic quizzes because that is the one that people had requested that I create a tutorial on. If you want to, you can convert or migrate that classic quiz into a new quiz. That way you won't have to lose it forever once 2021 hits. And let's all be honest, we're sick of 2020, so I'm ready for 2021 to get here. So we're going to click Classic Quizzes, Submit, and you'll see here that I have a brand new fresh quiz that is ready to be created. So let's get to it. I'm going to make this quiz a mixed math review. There we go. And so now I'm going to go down and you see this toolbar, basic toolbar, same toolbar you've seen in literally any other word processor, that's not a word processor. So the only difference is that it has different types of media that you can input. I can include links, photos, audio, I can include documents, tables, apps, the whole shebang. But what I'm going to focus on right now is including my directions. So, oh my goodness, I know how to spell, I promise. Directions, and then I pretend like I'm typing out very detailed directions. Boom, there we go. That's one part. Or what I can do for my learners, I can actually include audio as well. And so I'm going to choose to record media. And here I'm going to go straight to record and I'm going to read those directions aloud. Hey boys and girls, today we're going to take a mixed math quiz. Please make sure that you show all of your work and submit this quiz by Friday at 2 p.m. Now, if I want to play that, I can play it, listen to my voice, and make sure that I said my words properly, which I did. So I'm going to save this, and it will insert automatically for me. Now, in addition to having the directions in written form, I also have my directions here with audio, so that way my kids have visual and they have that auditory support as well. Now, if you know me, you know that I love read and write for Google Chrome, and so this is another option that you can use, this toolbar. And this will also read aloud the words to them, and it also has a translate feature as well for that language barrier. So if you have not watched the tutorial on Read and Write for Google Chrome, definitely check that out in the Teacher Tips playlist so that you will have access to that option as well. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to continue creation of this quiz. Now, there are different types of quizzes here, practice and graded, ungraded. So A lot of times, people like to use practice quizzes, especially in the beginning of the year, because if you have students that aren't used to having Canvas quizzes or taking quizzes online, they really get kind of stressed sometimes because they see that I'm going to be taking a quiz. It's not paper and pencil. Where do I submit? How do I do this? What are the controls? What are the functions? And so by giving them a practice quiz, it's risk-free, it's not being graded, and it kind of gives them a safe space to practice. So for today's purposes, we're going to use a practice quiz. Now, whenever you do decide to do your graded quiz, it's a little bit different, and you have an option to sync to PowerSchool if that's what your school uses as far as grading goes. But we are going to go to practice quiz. You see, it took away some of my options here. So I'm going to shuffle the answers. I like to do this because sometimes if you have a table of 8 students, you want them to have different questions, different answers. So that way, every single question, although it might say read the same, the answers are in a different order. And so this helps also for remote learning. I know last year I had 2 adorable, hilarious twins, but they would be on a Zoom call with me, and then, sorry, one would be on a Zoom call with me and the other would be on a Zoom call with his other teacher. And so they were in the same room. And so this would be really good for situations like that because, yeah, they're going to take the same test, but they're going to have different answer choices. You have an option to include a time limit if you want to. So that's there for you. You can allow multiple attempts. And so with this, I normally keep the highest score because that's the best one that they did. I want to always record their best effort. And so you could do the latest score or the average, all right? Allowed attempts, a lot of people choose 3. And so you pick whatever you need based on your students. And so another thing to this section, be careful here because you want to avoid a situation to where kids are able to literally copy down the right and wrong answers and then resubmit, just literally copying down what they wrote. And so check your settings here because you can let the students see their quiz responses after their last attempt, after each attempt. Let them see the correct answers. Maybe don't let them see the correct answers. It is your choice. I will leave this up to you. You can decide how you want to do this, okay? And then you also have an option of when do you want to show the correct answers. Maybe you want to show them day of. Maybe you want to show them 24 hours later. It is completely your choice. You have to do that based on your kids in your building and your class. So the next feature I really love is adding questions only one at a time, showing them one at a time. This is important because, for example, if you're giving a midterm that has 30 or 40 questions on it, they're instantly going to get stressed by seeing all that scrolling and scrolling or clicking next, 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 next to the next page and seeing all these questions. We're not trying to traumatize them here. We're not trying to cause death by over testing. And so what we want to do is just show those questions one at a time so that way your learners are not overly stressed from the beginning because you know their brain is not going to behave in the same way if they're stressed out already from the get-go. So show one question at a time. Save yourself some stress and save the kids some stress as well. As far as locking questions after answering, this means that if they are taking their test and then a little bit later on they realize, oh, I did my math wrong, and they want to go back and change their answer, they can't. It's locked, it's done, you can't do anything about it. So I like to leave these open because sometimes I tell my kids that it's okay if you skip over a question, just make sure you come back to it at a later time before the testing session ends, okay? Quiz restrictions, this is for if you want to require a password for them to get into the quiz, or if you want to lock down the browser and let them only be able to use that on a domain that is through your school. That's one of those technical things you'll have to get with your tech facilitator on to get some help with that. Choose here who you want to assign it to. Now, whenever this goes live in August, you have your own courses in here, depending on what your level is, elementary, high school, middle school. You are going to want to choose which courses you want to give this to. And so for me, I'm going to put it to my practice course 1. And then if I want to send this to Mastery Path, I can. That is a professional development for another day. But and then I choose my dates. When do I want this to be due and when is this available? And I can also go and add in some more courses if I want to, but that's completely up to you. You have to take the time to look into those settings. All right. So as soon as you finish, you're going to come down. Notice I'm clicking save right now. All right. I'm only saving it and I'm not publishing it yet because I am not ready. So I'm coming up to the top now, and I'm going to go to questions. Now this is where your question bank really comes in handy. So if I want to, I can create a new question. But remember that if I'm giving a 35 question assessment, that's a midterm, do I want to sit here and create 35 questions one by one by one by one by one? No, I don't want to do that. I need to do things fast, quick. I need to get them done because I have a lot of stuff to do and I don't have time to be creating things one by one by one by one. So let's cancel that. Instead, I'm going to go to find questions. Now this is where your question bank comes in handy. So you see, this is a mixed math review. So I want to get some addition. Let's add that in. All right. Find questions. I want to add in some multiplication. Which question? I want them all. Select all and then add those questions in. And so I can continue doing this for however many more questions that I want to add in. All right. And so as I'm building my quiz, you'll see down here the other option is new question group. I'm going to click that. And then this group is going to be telling time. And I'm going to pick 2 different questions from that question bank. And down here, you see link to a question bank. I'm going to click that and I'm going to go, boom, telling time, select bank, create group. So now I am going to be able to assign my students 2 random questions from the telling time bank. And so they're not going to get the same questions. It's going to be 2 different ones. And so that's really awesome because you're able to randomize the order of the questions and randomize the actual questions that they get. And so if you have your question banks already created, now you just pull and choose and then submit and you're done. And so just like that, I'm done and I'm ready to save and publish my quiz so that I can make this thing go live. All right. So now I can save and publish my quiz and then I will see that in my details, everything's set, everything's ready to go. I don't know why it's being weird. It's not publishing. Save and publish. Who knows? Technology's crazy sometimes. But anyway, after you save and publish, you'll go back to quizzes, and then you can see your completed quiz down in where it says whatever you named it. I don't know what you named your quiz. So you will see it here, okay? So that was a quick tutorial on how you create a quiz in Canvas. Remember, classic quizzes, all right? So if this was helpful for you, please subscribe so that you get access to my upcoming videos. Like this video and share it with your teaching buddies. All right, that is all for now. I will see you next time.